If you're over 60 and think that regular jogging guarantees a strong heart and long life, what I'm about to share may change how you see exercise forever. A shocking case from Zhejiang. China has left families and doctors stunned. A 59-year-old man, healthy, disciplined, and committed to his morning jogs, every single day collapsed and died suddenly right after a routine morning run. He had no history of chronic illness, no high blood pressure, no diabetes, no heart disease. His family was devastated. He ran every morning. His wife said he was healthy. How could this happen with no warning? But as a neurologist, I can tell you this: stroke and sudden cardiac events don't always come with symptoms. And sometimes it's not about having a disease. It's about the hidden stress your body endures when certain mistakes are repeated over time. In this man's case, his commitment to jogging was real, but so were the 3 critical errors he made every day. Running on an empty stomach, running in the summer heat, and pushing himself too hard without ever adjusting for age or weather. These aren't minor details. They are serious stressors for an aging heart and brain, and the danger doesn't announce itself with chest pain or shortness of breath. It builds slowly, quietly, until one day the system fails and it's too late. Today, I'll walk you through the 3 silent mistakes that even the most health-conscious seniors make while exercising, and what you can do to protect yourself, your heart, and your brain before one workout becomes your last. 1. Jogging in hot weather. For many older adults, sticking to a daily jogging routine feels like a badge of discipline. It's seen as the ultimate act of self-care, getting outside, breaking a sweat, and pushing your body to stay strong. But when the temperature rises, especially during summer mornings, that same healthy habit can quietly turn dangerous. Hot weather changes everything. As your body begins to heat up, it relies heavily on sweating to cool down. You lose water, electrolytes, and essential minerals faster than you think. For younger bodies, this is manageable, but after treads, your cardiovascular system is already working harder, and your heart has less flexibility to adapt to sudden thermal stress. The result: your heart must pump faster, your blood becomes thicker, and your body struggles to cool itself efficiently. That combination creates a hidden storm: dehydration, heat stress, and elevated heart strain all before breakfast. In the case from Zhejiang, the man went for his usual jog on a summer morning. The sun was strong, but he didn't want to skip his routine. By the time he got home, his body had been pushed past its limit. There were no warning signs. No chest pain, no dizziness, just a subtle feeling of fatigue before he collapsed. Medical reports later showed acute cardiac overload, likely triggered by a mix of dehydration, heat strain, and undetected heart stress that had built up quietly over time. As a neurologist, I've seen how this happens. When older adults exercise in the heat, the heart must work overtime to maintain blood pressure and circulation. The brain, already vulnerable to oxygen changes, may not get enough support. Blood thickens, vessels constrict, clots form, and the damage is done before anyone realizes something's wrong. The lesson is simple but vital. Jogging is good for your health, but never ignore the weather. Avoid outdoor runs during high heat or humidity. Choose early mornings when it's cooler. Stay hydrated before and after. And don't push through just to meet a goal, because even one hot morning can push the heart too far, and your body may not get a second chance. 2. Jogging on an empty stomach. There's a common belief that jogging before breakfast helps burn fat, boosts metabolism, and clears the mind for many older adults, especially those with long-established routines. Early morning runs without eating have become second nature. It feels efficient, even disciplined. But the truth is, jogging on an empty stomach, especially in your 60-second, 70-second, or beyond, can quietly become a serious threat to your heart and brain. When you exercise without eating, your body doesn't have the immediate fuel it needs. Blood sugar is already low after a night's sleep. And glycogen stores, the backup energy in your muscles and liver, are often depleted. For younger, healthy individuals, the body can adapt, but in aging adults, the stress of low glucose can become dangerous. The heart, which depends on a steady supply of energy, is forced to work harder with less. This creates what I call a metabolic mismatch, when the demand for energy skyrockets during a workout, but there's simply not enough fuel available. To compensate, your body starts breaking down fat for energy. That sounds good, but it comes at a cost. This shift releases free fatty acids and lactic acid into the bloodstream. In older adults, this can disturb heart rhythm, raise acidity in the blood, and strain the heart muscle at the worst possible time. Add in mild dehydration and age-related vessel stiffness, and you've created the perfect conditions for an arrhythmia, a drop in blood pressure, or even sudden cardiac arrest. This is exactly what may have happened to the man in Zhejiang. He was healthy, consistent, and committed to fitness, but his habit of running before breakfast meant his heart was operating under energy stress every single morning. Over time, that silent burden built up. On the day he died, there was no pain, no warning, just a sudden collapse after his jog. Doctors later concluded that energy imbalance likely played a role in his heart's failure. I see this pattern in older patients too often. The body doesn't shout when something's wrong. It whispers fatigue, dizziness, delayed recovery, occasional palpitations. But when we ignore those signs, the consequences can be permanent. So here's what I recommend. If you prefer morning exercise, have a light snack first. A small banana with nut butter, a slice of toast, or a few almonds can be enough to support your heart without feeling too heavy. Never run on empty. Your brain and heart depend on fuel to function, and without it, even the healthiest habit can quietly turn into a fatal mistake. 3. Pushing beyond your limits. Jogging is widely celebrated for its benefits: better circulation, improved endurance, and a stronger heart. But as a neurologist, I've seen firsthand how pushing too hard, too often, especially in older adults, can quietly become a trigger for stroke, heart failure, or sudden cardiac arrest. The truth is, not everybody can keep up with every routine. And when effort exceeds capacity, the risks begin to multiply. As we age, the heart's ability to respond to intense physical demands gradually weakens. Arteries stiffen, recovery slows. Electrical signals within the heart take longer to adjust. Yet many older adults don't feel these changes until it's too late. They continue jogging at the pace they used to, ignoring signs like breathlessness, palpitations, or lingering fatigue. Over time, this overexertion can lead to dangerous consequences: thickening of the heart wall, irregular rhythms, and in the worst cases, acute heart failure or stroke. The man from Zhejiang is a heartbreaking example. His fitness routine remained consistent, but his body had changed. He was increasing the intensity of his jogs without realizing it longer distances. Faster pace. Hotter days. There were no warning signs, just years of subtle strain building beneath the surface. On the day he died, his heart couldn't keep up. The constant overload had worn it down, and it gave out after one final run. Pushing past your limit doesn't always feel dramatic. It can look like slightly faster laps, running up steeper hills, or simply ignoring the need to rest. But each time you override your body's signals, your cardiovascular system is forced into overdrive. The heart rate climbs, blood pressure spikes, oxygen demand soars. If your vessels can't handle that stress, especially if they're already narrowed or inflamed, a clot can form, or a rhythm can suddenly shift into something fatal. For older adults, especially those with heart conditions, it's critical to respect your current limits. That doesn't mean avoiding exercise, it means doing it smart. Monitor your heart rate. Know your target zone. Rest when your body says rest. Alternate between light and moderate workouts. And most importantly, listen to what your breath, your muscles, and your recovery times are telling you, because while jogging may be good for your health, overdoing it, especially without medical guidance, can turn a life-saving habit into a life-ending one. You don't need to stop moving, but you do need to move wisely. Conclusion: jogging can absolutely be part of a healthy life after 60, but only when it's done with awareness and respect for how your body has changed. As a brain doctor, I've seen too many patients who meant well. They exercised, they stayed active, they pushed themselves until one day their body couldn't push back. Stroke, heart failure, and sudden death are not just caused by bad habits. Sometimes they're caused by good habits done the wrong way. Running under the hot sun, on an empty stomach, or at a pace beyond your limits might seem harmless in the moment. But in an aging body, one with slower recovery, stiffer arteries, and reduced hydration reserves, those small choices can add up to serious consequences. If you love jogging, keep doing it. But shift your mindset from intensity to longevity. Avoid extreme heat. Eat a light snack before you move. Slow down when your body asks you to, and never skip regular checkups to monitor how your heart and brain are truly handling your routine. Because it's not just about running farther or faster, it's about staying healthy enough to keep running for years to come. Your health isn't just built in the gym or on the track, it's protected in the quiet choices you make before and after you move. You smart, rest well, and live longer.